Hey, coffee lovers, Mark here at Whole Latte Love. Excuse me for just a moment. I just got to hit a button over here. Okay, now we're rolling. Oh, hey, Nick.
Hey, Mark.
What the hell are you doing here, man? Hey, you always show up. Welcome to my maybe college dorm room. I don't know, my off-campus housing. Maybe my camper, right? I just hit the button because I'm in the middle of making. You always show up right when I'm making the cappuccino,
I thought I
right?
heard it down the hall. Yeah, I wanted to pop in for a cappuccino.
Happens every time.
Setup you got here for your dorm here?
Yeah, I mean maybe 40-something years ago. I don't know. How long are you?
13.
13. You're a kid. Okay. Well.
Something like that.
All right. So anyhow, we're going to take a look at some entry-level options here, right? And Nick, what's the top of the line here?
Yeah, top of the line. So this is, I think, what I would call best value entry level. And at the top, obviously, is the best value entry level espresso machine, the Gaggia E24.
Oh, let's get a shot over here because your cappuccino is done.
It's looking beautiful, by the way.
So I did ahead of time do a little frothing on this for the cappuccino and just did the espresso into it. Just hit a button and it does the rest. Love it.
That's right.
This is the easy, convenient option. There you go, my friend.
Looking good.
So enjoy that. So this is a bean to cup super automatic. Now what I did is I set up one button on here so that we can pull a single shot like over milk for the cappuccino.
That's right.
Or we could pour the froth, and we'll do that in a minute for more of a latte style drink. I also have this button here set up to do just a regular full 6-ounce cup of coffee.
That's right.
Now, we did put up a poll, so please vote, right? What is the U.S. national average price of a latte?
Yeah, so we'll have to do our best not to leak those details until the end of the stream.
I mean, you might be able to search that out. I don't know.
We've got your poll results down there, by the way. Also, your comments.
Yes.
So if you've got comments for us or questions, put them into the chat down below. We've got some people moderating, but we'll also try to respond in real time, too.
But yeah, so we're really taking a look. And the point I want to make here, why we did that poll, is because on a machine like this, you can make a latte for well under 50 cents. So, the example I want to use, you're sending your kid off to college, you get the meal plan. They still do the meal plan
I had
thing?
like a flex plan, meal plan. Yeah, of course.
And they got the coffee shops on the campuses, and I did a little, I'm not going to divulge what it was yet, the average price that we found, but did a little digging around to see what the average price of a latte was on a college campus too. And surprising, if you're doing a couple of those a day, what that's going to run you.
Yeah.
And who are you paying? Who's paying for it usually?
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad?
Or Uncle Sam, I suppose.
And then, of course, on top of that average price, I was asking around some of our younger kids here, like on the campus, would they tip their baristas? They said, oh yeah, you got to do 20%. So whatever that average price is, add another 20%, do some math, and you can see that maybe a machine like this is really going to decrease a lot of expenses.
I mean, we did a piece on this actually too, if you're curious, just about how much you save brewing at home. It's an article on our site, and the payback is wild when it comes to just even that second year of ownership.
It is crazy. It is crazy that, I also took a look at it against a Keurig real quick. You can get the capsule, the little plastic capsules, which, we're not all thrilled about the plastic, right? And I'm not thrilled about the quality of the coffee. The whole beans ground fresh are, of course, much better, but did a little math, and there's about 100 Keurig capsules worth of coffee in this bag of beans. And this bag of beans right here, what's the price on this?
Creme wave right now, I think $23.99.
So you'd have to get those Keurig capsules for 23 cents each, which maybe you could do. I don't know. I don't think so.
It'd be tough. Maybe if you're reusing them a few times.
And that's
rebrew.
pre-ground in a plastic thing, and quality's nowhere near that. So let's go through real quick the machines we're going to look at. We're going to brew on all of them, right?
That's right.
Right. So we're going to start over here with the Gaggia Espresso Evolution. This is more of a traditional sort of machine, very entry level.
And very entry level, but super compact, easy to use. You can brew using pre-ground coffee or ESE pods, though, I think those aren't as popular now as maybe they were a few years ago when we were really selling them, but still possible.
Oh, and are we going to talk about the deal?
I think we have to talk about the deal. If you are watching right now, in July of 2025, during this live, we are including a Solis Scala grinder with the purchase of a Gaggia Espresso Evolution.
Free.
It's free, yeah. Free shipping as well. So, you might think, hey, we're still in the summer. We're not quite at August yet, but school's coming before you know it. Probably a good idea to know how to use your machine before you take that back to the dorm. The Scala 2, completely suited for drip grinding, pour over, French press as well. So a great little entry-level combo that can get you brewing and saving faster than you think.
So that's a really great deal. That's more of a traditional. Again, we will brew and steam on this and stuff, but more traditional portafilter style thing.
Yep.
But I do like getting that grinder with it. So if you do drip and espresso, or if maybe you just want to get in, you're doing drip now and you want to try some home espresso, this has been a really popular choice for people to get for a very first machine. Especially, it's very small and lightweight. So if you're taking it to the college campus or whatever, it's really easy to do. And then you've got a grinder too, so you can have it perfectly fresh. Next one up, is just finishing the drink on the Gaggia here. This, like I said, I had a program to do an espresso. I had a program to do a coffee. You can hit the button twice and get 2 espressos or 2 coffees. It grinds the whole beans fresh.
That's right.
From bean hopper right up here.
Could do pre-ground too for some decaf.
Yeah. Water goes in the drawer right here. I'll show you that. So water in there, really easy. Used coffee. You know what I like about this? First of all, it's ground fresh, and and no plastic cups in there. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Like that. So tell us about this one.
Yeah. So I mean, it really needs no introduction, but this is the Gaggia E24, and I do want to say too, Ron, if you can just move the poll down there. I see we're getting some comments in. I'm just having a bit of a time reading them there, but classic E24. This is the brass boiler update that you obviously did a really extensive review of. But
we'll talk about my little technique for getting a perfect 200 on this every time.
Perfect 200, that's right. So 4.0, perfect 200, let's say, something like that. 58 millimeter polished stainless portafilter, brass group with a polished steel surround, brass boiler, incredible temperature stability, and actually this lineup of machines here, even the Espresso Evolution, all made in Italy as well. So this is, I think, as you and Todd maybe once called it, a made in Italy marvel.
Yes.
But commercial style steam wand too, really of the machines that we have here today, the most, I would say, barista oriented, the most commercial style. Really just a great machine to either last you a decade or, be a stepping stone into a later purchase down the line.
Yeah, I mean, well, and I was also talking, like, if this is a machine you send to a kid with a college, they might be giving it to their kids, because that's how this is built.
Possible.
And down the road, this is definitely a machine that you can very easily work on. Some of the other products we have here, those aren't the kind of machines you're going to get inside of, but if you're a hands-on person, all kinds of DIY stuff with this. Parts are so available, so cheap, easy to fix, 10, 20 years down the road if you need to. And then next to that, the grinder that we have.
Yeah, this is the Baratza Encore ESP, and so for those of you watching too, we are aware of the ESP Pro coming soon, hopefully sometime this month, so just stay tuned for that. Just a little teaser for you. The Encore ESP, honestly, I think this was a much needed update to the Encore. So it was for a long time one of the most common entry-level grinders, but the original Encore I think really kind of struggled when it came to dialing in for espresso. And so a machine like the Gaggia Classic even does have a pressurized portafilter, but if you're looking to really get into that commercial style extraction, the way the Encore ESP works is actually the last 20 adjustments of the grind range are reserved just for a espresso grind. And so the way that works is the pitch of the adjustment changes, so you're actually starting to move the burrs more exactly in a finer increment. So it has a single dosing cup that can be used for 58 and 54 millimeter portafilters, but kind of a basic on-off operation too. So just really straightforward. Probably want to use that with a scale, but a terrific grinder. Still has a good amount of grinding range too for manual brew methods and things like that.
And then the last one, this is kind of a bean to a real
grind and brew, right? Grind and brew. Yeah, this is the Solis. This is the grind and infuse Perfetta. So this is a grind and brew espresso machine. So if you're familiar with Solis, basically this half of the machine right here, this is essentially a Barista Perfetta Plus, and then tacked on the other side, we've got a multi-step conical burr grinder that's built in. Programmability for a single and a double cup here. You actually do have a PID regulated thermal block that can be adjusted within 5 degrees north or south of 90 degrees Celsius. So I have mine set to 93, which is about 200. On top of that, you have single and double shot programmability, steam mode on the side, a fully articulated commercial steam wand. This is a 54 millimeter basket, but Solis did do a really nice job of supplying us with a variety of 54 millimeter accessories, and the truth is too that we have a lot of really cool stuff from Varia that actually works for the Espresso Evolution and the Solis. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about that today too.
You know, this all-in-one it kind of reminds me a little bit of.
I've got to come back and get used to this new setup here.
Way back in the 70s, you know, we've got our first turntable. It was integrated with the amplifier and everything, and the tuner and all. It's kind of like that all-in-one deal, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes it easier, makes it transportable, that kind of thing, and you know, you can go high quality with this, right? You can do really nice stuff.
You can go high quality, and I think the thing that's important to remember too, and this is something even for your Espresso Evolution, if you catch the stream at a later date and you don't wind up picking up the Solis, you know, even if you're brewing at school, you want to go to your favorite cafes, maybe pick up some coffee from them, have them grind it for you, and then just bring it back to use in your machine back at the dorm, you know?
So let's get brewed, but I do see one comment that, you know, I was talking about this earlier. A distant horizon there, those Gazzas would make your room a hangout. You know, I was saying, you know, you want to make friends somewhere, serve them coffee, right? Serve them coffee.
You know, if you're not even on the campus too, if you're just in an apartment off campus, right?
Right,
you
absolutely.
Kind of become the de facto coffee shop for your friends before you go back to school every day. So.
Yeah, and I don't know if you might end up charging or asking for some bean money. You know, if you were serving everybody all the time.
That sounds illicit, some bean money.
Yeah, for me it was gas money back in the day, right?
Some bean money these days.
So, all right. Well, let's get rolling,
Sure,
right? Let's make. So we're gonna pull a shot over here. We're gonna use the Solis grinder.
Yeah, and actually I owe you a little accessory right here. So this is the Solis. That's the Varia dosing cup. Now they come with 54 and 58 millimeter diameters on the top.
These guys,
the Espresso Evolution, it's a little tight, but it actually does fit some of these 54 millimeter accessories we've found. So Mark is going to show us here. You can actually grind straight into that with the Scala and then do a flip transfer into the Espresso Evolution. Now, I did, before the stream, program the timing on this grinder. That little switch, though, even like it's fairly sensitive when we moved it. So I'm hoping we're going to be around 14 grams here. We'll see how we do.
Now it does come with a grinds bin. So like if you know, you could transfer from this into
the portafilter.
The portafilter. It's not the best, but you can do it. Certainly if you're using it for, you know, drip grinding and stuff, this works perfectly fine.
I agree.
So what I'm going to do is just put this up here, press start. Like, Nick, I'm going to try. Oh, we're just going to go that it's going to be right.
We got to trust.
You want me to
trust.
wait.
You know what I mean? So that's the
trust
thing,
the process.
is a lot of these machines do have timers. They've got programmability as well. And I trust it because I am the one who programmed it. So we'll see.
You said 14 grams?
I said it should be about 14 grams.
That looks like almost exactly 14 grams.
You know, I've seen a few 13 and a halves in my day. That's a 14 if ever I've seen one.
Okay. So I am going to, like I always, you know, of course when I'm doing this, I'm always going to wipe out the portafilter before we dose it. You got that.
And for those of you watching too, when you were first getting started, what were some of your first espresso machines that you were brewing with, maybe with some of your entry-level setups? We'd love to hear about them in the comments.
And just to my eye, that level looks like exactly what we were putting in the warm-up here. So we're just going to smooth that out a little bit.
Now we are cheating just a little bit. We did find that the Solis tamper actually does fit into that basket as well. It's snug, but
you know, you don't want it loosey-goosey.
You don't want it loosey-goosey, that's right.
Okay. And let's see, I think we did program this, right?
We did, yes.
So this it has one button to brew with right here. This does shut off automatically after I think it's 10 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, with the power saving function.
So if you leave the dorm room and you forget to turn it off, no big deal, right?
And the lights are illuminated when the machine's turned on, but it is a low illumination. It's very low power consumption on that.
It's like I'm having a hard time seeing them under these lights.
Yeah. So what kind of cup do you want here, Mark, actually?
You know what, I'm just gonna, why don't I pull it into a shot glass?
Yeah, so you got one right on top there.
So we have the little shot pitchers right here. So all I gotta do is just put that under there, press the button, and off we go. And it's gonna take just a moment to warm up.
Right.
And it's gonna do a little pre-infusion right there. If you heard that, it's gonna stop and then go. And this is the Crema Wave coffee that we are doing on this machine. And I'll try and get it so you can see this, but it is making its nice crema like we're used to. And this is gonna stop automatically. It was just to program it, it's just to press and hold until you have what you want.
So
I'm going to give it a stop there because it's going a little bit beyond what I thought. So we might have lost the programming on there. Not a big deal. So there we go. And let's see if you can see. Yeah, so it's got some nice crema on there.
Got some waves on there.
So what would we do with this?
Well, I mean, this is the thing I really love about these shot glass pitchers. I mean, especially when you're trying to make coffee drinks, specialty drinks at home, obviously you have a machine that's designed with a form factor for the house. typically your clearance may not be as big as you might get, say, at a shop. So something like that shot glass pitcher that you have there is perfect for transferring that coffee into a tumbler or a travel cup to then take it with you someplace else. Because especially, like I love these are the Quinto to-go tumblers.
So let's do it. I'm going to make an Americano.
You might as well, yeah.
I might as well.
Let's show that off right here.
All right, so I'm just going to pour the espresso in. And we could do it, we could do it after or before, it doesn't matter. You know. So, and then we're just on the steam wand here, and we'll use that in a minute as well. We just open up the valve, and it's just going to dispense hot water, and that's right. An Americano.
Yeah, so very similar to Gaggia's super automatic espresso machines. You've got a thermoblock in there.
Yeah.
Basically, when you open that valve, it starts the pump, so it starts to dispense hot water instantly, right? So you didn't have to do anything else. Very similar to the Brera with the selector knob on the top there. Basically turn that to the hot water position, and then you're good to go. And then really you can eyeball it, or I've started getting into ratios for my Americano, so I'll use a scale and basically do like usually like a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 water to coffee, depending on the coffee that I've got there.
That looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks good to me too. And then honestly, just toss your lid on, and
I'm going to give it a taste. Huh?
You've got that ready basically to go, and that's going to be hot all class. If you haven't seen it, I know Mark, you did a great video recently just on different cups and how they maintain temperature in coffee. There's sort of that Goldilocks zone that Danilo talked about, right? But
this is almost too hot right now, right?
Yes,
so by the time I'm walking to class or whatever, or
you take that on the bus, or you have a pedestrian commute or something like that. That's going to keep it nice and toasty. Good seal there. That's the Quinto to-go tumbler. Really elegant and one of my favorites.
I'll tell you what, Nick. What you want to? Let's work with this one. I'm going to get another shot prepared over here, so then we can do. We'll do a latte over here. Okay.
Oh, see, I was gonna do some frothing too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Whatever
well, you make yours.
Here, I'll tell you what. Let me grab the. We'll do something like a caramel. Actually, I've got the Quinto here because this actually could fit, but just like the Espresso Evolution there, the Solis does power down after a little bit of time. The lights will blink here around our single and double cups, just letting us know that the thermoblock is heating. So it is a thermoblock machine, meaning that we don't have a supply of water heated, at all times, but the thermoblock does heat up first. With our built-in grinder too, though, we actually do have the ability to select between a single and a double. So I've got this at about 9.5. I have been adjusting my grinder a little bit. And if you want to hand me back that dosing cup, Mark, I like to use this just to show this off because you can just use the portafilter. There's a little switch down here, and then there's this one here to actually activate it. But very low static on this machine, so I kind of like grinding directly into this cup.
Oh, just because you could grind right in the portafilter.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But I can keep this in here, maybe flush it a little bit, let it get hot for a second. But basically, got a nice little screen here that turns into a shot timer. So really just very useful. It's also going to be the timer for my grinder.
I'm going to give this just a little turn for the camera.
Of course.
See if that doesn't.
And then I'm just going to tap this button right here and start grinding.
I might have made it worse.
Oh. But as you can see, nearly all that coffee making it right into that dosing cup. Really, really nice. Very
Give that
easy
a turn
to
back.
change
I think I made the reflections worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Giving that a turn back, but really just adjust by twisting this dial here. That's how you change the time, and then you can obviously set it between the two. You can also grind, like I said, just by pressing in with the tab on the portafilter. Flip transfer as well, using that Varia dosing cup. And that'll be it. So really, can you hand me a towel? I realize I don't have one. And then I'll use one of my shot glass pitchers as well. And I'll steal your scale here. But you do have a good workspace on this. And basically, I can also press and hold to program my machine here. Always have a bit of pre-infusion. This is the Varia Accu Mini, one of my favorite scales that we've got. And it's going a little fast. So I may just need to fine up my grind just a little bit. But now, if I want to go to steam mode, just go ahead and tap the steam button, So showing us our total extraction time. Got our purge rocking and rolling there. And so I love these cups too, right? Because you can obviously use them not just for measuring your coffee, but you can also use them to measure your syrups and sauces as well. So let's say I just want about an ounce of this sauce. Pour that right in there. Just give these a quick rinse, and then you've got them ready for, basically the next day. So give this a quick purge. And then
Need some milk?
I do need just a little bit of milk there.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get that for you.
Still getting used to this new configuration that I have here. But go right in. It does take a bit for the steam to pick up in terms of the pressure there, but
That's getting a really nice roll.
A nice roll, yeah, just with a little bit of work on it.
And if you don't do the frothing, it's all about the tip position at the start, right?
That's right.
You get a little air in there. And then just heating it until it's just getting uncomfortable to hold in your hand there. And that's when you're right about 140, which is a perfect temperature. That's really where milk is at its sweetest point.
Yes. So, done there. Wipe that down. And the Solis does have an automatic purge function, so I will basically switch out of.
So it just kind of, did the purge automatically that you're going to have to do manually on other machines.
Pumps running there.
Nice.
And then with a nice wide mouth travel cup like this, if you have enough volume, you could fit a lot more in there actually. You can pour maybe a little heart, hold on out. Yeah, just for you.
Just a little tiny one. I mean,
just a little tiny one just for me. No one else is going to see it. I'll put my lid on and then I'm ready to go. But basically, that's my caramel latte to go. Make sure if you haven't voted already, how much you think a latte costs. Just a regular latte, right? Not even a flavored one. Because
that's another $1 or $2, right? Anyways.
It's 100%.
For the okay.
I'm gonna swish that in just to get my Hollander incorporated there, and let's give that a taste. Oh, that's real nice.
So that again, the amount of beans that you were using for that was maybe in that 30, 40 cents at most.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Also with the crema wave. So you just made a lot, maybe, 15 cents worth of milk. So how much did you save and how convenient was that? So
very simple cleanup on this here too.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I did say we were going to do some frothing over here on the Evolution. So let's do that. So I'm going to get a shot going first. And those lights are kind of dim in the bright lights here. So let me get that going. So we'll leave that in there for now. We're going to grind. If I could borrow back the dosing cup, Nick, that would be awesome.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so that fits pretty well under there. You have to hold it in position, but it does work.
I'm sure if you're an engineering student, you could build a little wedge under there to hold that in there for you. All right. Again, I always wipe my portafilters dry, and you should too.
Dry but hot,
Yeah, flip transfer there.
Mitchell McAlvey says, just bought a Gaggia Classic Pro E24 from you guys. So excited, Mitchell. We're excited for you too, man.
Well, you're going to want to see, if you haven't already, you will want to see the my little technique for getting always a perfect 200 on that.
Yeah, keep watching for that because that debuted in your review of the Classic. But basically that's kind of been Mark's thing lately is these processes to get you that 200 on. Not just the Classic, but on a lot of machines, but I think that's where you really debuted that, right?
Yeah. We went to actual real inpuck temperatures for measurements, so we really know what we're looking at. No proxy pucks and SCASE devices, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you actually showed us how to do that, too, how to build the probe, right?
That's right. All right, so I'm gonna program this while I'm doing it. I'm just gonna do it by eye. We're using about 14 grams, so I'm just gonna hold it. It does that little pre-infusion right there.
Yeah, and so actually doing it by eye is not a terrible way to program because honestly, if you're brewing on a budget and you don't have a good way to measure, let's say, maybe you don't have a scale, something like that, you can use a cup.
And in my experience, 40 milliliters, that's perfect for this coffee dose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the thing to remember though too is, right, that you want to try to be as
shot.
consistent as you can with your coffee, especially even with freshness in terms of how frequently you use the coffee and how frequently you're buying new coffee, because you want it all generally within the same date range, because when you are brewing by volume, different coffees will produce different amounts of crema. So if it's a fresher coffee, for instance, there's a good chance that you'll get more crema on it than if it's not.
Yeah.
And then if you switch up beans though too, you may find that the new coffee that you're brewing with just doesn't produce as much crema in general, at which point you may not be able to use the same measurements that you were using before. So it's really just getting to know how the coffee's pulling if you're not going to use the scale.
Okay, so I did hit the steam button here, and when it goes solid, it's good to go. I am going to purge the wand here.
Yep, you got 2 pitchers, one for purging and one
Yep.
for.
I like that.
Brew into actually. We're gonna pour into here.
You know, I should have just brewed into this cup, but we'll.
Use a Gaggia cup.
Sure.
There.
Oh yeah, that's nice and warm. Thanks for taking that off the
You're
warmer
welcome.
for me. So we'll pour that over in a minute, but let me get this milk froth in here. This is an auto frothing wand, so it's going to do almost all the work for you.
Yeah, so those work basically by having an air intake hole that draws air into the wand and then injecting it directly into the milk. So as long as that air intake is exposed, you're going to continue to add air.
Yep.
And now you've got, those are one of the BIT, the special cappuccino frothing pitchers made
Yes.
by Sauro.
And this, you know, this type of auto frothing really does a better job, maybe at a cappuccino. You can't get latte art quality off of it.
Well, if you guys want, I can show you. You can
Yeah.
actually steam
And you can.
using the wand without a frother on it, without the Panarello. It just has a little bit more
I'm going to wipe that wand down.
involved process there. Okay, yeah, this is looking pretty good though. Let me take a quick peek at how
Yep.
you did. Looks nice.
So we'll do a little transfer here, and I'll do this over here, Ron, so that we can. Let's get a look here. Okay.
Very cool.
We'll get it together a little bit. Give it a few taps. Send a larger air out of there.
No pressure. Everyone's
No
watching.
pressure. This is a cappuccino. I don't put art on my cappuccinos, but you never know. Yeah, we got more of a standard cappuccino there,
Very
right?
foamy. Yeah.
So very, you know, Sorrow's all about those real traditional
The traditional
cappuccinos.
cappuccino, that's right.
And that's what this one is. I got to give that a taste. I already gave you one, right? So
You
I
did give
get
me
that
one, yeah. So I'll tell you what, maybe we we do the demo just with the other frothing wand too, just to show it off.
Oh, over here?
Or we
Yeah,
can-
you wanna do it?
Well, I mean, take the sleeve
Oh,
off
yeah,
and just
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, because for those of you who are wondering, right, like, can
I'm
you
gonna
still
clean this up
practice
for you.
latte art? Maybe post a few on Reddit. I would say the answer is yes, but obviously it is going to require a bit of practice. So we still are in steam mode, which is nice. So maybe we'll cheat a little bit here. I'll pull a shot on my Solis, and
Okay.
then we'll froth milk with our Espresso Evolution.
Nope.
Here we go.
Oh, it dropped out of steam mode, so I'm going to put it back in for you.
Perfect. This
But-
is a pro technique actually. It's called having 2 machines.
Yeah, right. So the idea here is you're just going to froth without the air injection attachment.
That's right.
Does take a little bit of practice to get that down.
I will admit I am not a barista, but I do have some experience with these things.
Do you want to use the bit pitcher?
I will use I'll use the bit pitcher. It's
Okay. Well, I'll get you loaded up over here, huh?
perfect. All right. And so as you can see, without that attachment, if you want to come back over here, Ron, I can show everybody. Basically, you got a pretty good jet of steam there. This is an articulated wand too, so it's not just rotating. There is a joint in there that can move, but we'll open this up. And I'm already getting a nice roll there. I'm just heating it mostly, just incorporating that air.
Persepolis, when I was a student back in the late 90s, all I had was one of those whistling stove kettles and some instant coffee that expired at the end of World War II. I'm assuming, no, I know, Mr. P, that you have upgraded since then, because we have spoken before. So thanks for giving us your background.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Are we good, Ron? Am I good to go? Okay.
Oh, pull the hat brim back. Oh, you can't, huh? Okay, there you go. Hey, there it is.
Needed a little bit more incorporation there. Not
Hey, I mean, you
best.
got you got something going there. Not bad.
So with practice, you could use that wand in the original, the basically other configuration without the Panarello attachment and just froth milk normally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Shall we go? Let's do another drink on the Brewera.
Do another drink on the Brewera? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll do
let's
some
just
frothing.
talk a little bit about this because
Yeah.
you were saying we've got single and double shots programmed, right?
Yep.
You can do a
Well, I made a coffee on this one.
a coffee, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Right? So like, what would we consider a coffee? Because a lot of people, and I'm just gonna sneak over here.
Yeah.
Because we can kind of maybe show this off. A lot of people like to ask us, if you want to come back to me here for a second, Ron.
Yeah.
Can it make a full cup of coffee? And they're often talking about, a super auto, right?
Yeah.
And when you make coffee on a super auto, even if it says coffee, you're still using a very fine grind and you're still brewing under pressure using the espresso extraction method, right?
Yes.
So, what they call a coffee is really just kind of a long
Yes.
espresso.
A very
right?
long espresso. Yes.
But you can pull a full cup's worth,
Mm-hmm.
and it does generally tend to lighten things up and give
Yeah.
you a drink that's more akin to a traditional American cup of coffee. So,
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing we didn't talk about is if you're going to be doing those longer coffees all the time and you're using a coffee that maybe you find is, it's going a little bitter when you extract that long. I mean, you do have up here, I don't know, Ron, if we can get overhead on this. Yeah. So this is where the beans go in the Brewera here. There is grind size adjustment.
That's
so
right.
if I was going to be doing long coffees on this all the time, I would be adjusting the grind coarser.
Exactly.
For espresso, I'm almost always at the finest setting on
Yes.
this type of a machine.
And, I do think, too, shot timing, if you watch the video we did on our new blends, Danilo actually had us pulling beaned up a little faster, I think, than some of our other coffees. So it really does come down to what you're brewing with, too. So, Mark, show us how tough it is to pull that cup of coffee here.
Okay. There you go.
Color me impressed.
And if I were to hit this button now, so I had just programmed this one to dispense about 6 ounces of coffee.
Yeah.
If I had 2 cups, since we have 2 spouts here, I could just hit that button twice and automatically get
that's
2
going to
coffees.
grind and brew 2 times in a row.
2 times.
Yeah. And so these
Not any intervention.
These are kind of Italian single shots. So basically, that's a 10-gram max on the Brewera, right?
Yeah.
So if you are looking for more of that coffee flavor, you want a more caffeinated extraction. Yeah, it's good that you just tap that button twice and you get a double essentially.
Yeah. So if you want a big cup of coffee to go, that's the way to go. Is to, I mean, it's not that we have other models that have much higher spouts.
That's right. Exactly.
But you could put 2 cups in there, combine them, whatever, however you want to make that work out
Well,
for you.
and I mean, these are a little shorter, but I have my trusty Whole Latte Love mug here.
Yes.
This is my well-loved one that debuted when you and I hosted the Latte Art Throwdown.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That might squeak in there.
I mean, we could still, you could fit that right under those spouts and you'd be fine there too. So it does obviously come down to having a cup that's suited for the machine that you've got. And so honestly, if you're not sure, you can take a look on our site or just ask somebody from our sales team because having the right cups for your machine can make a world of difference just in terms of the convenience factor that you've got there. And that's perfect. You got room for cream if you wanted. If you wanted to cool that down or something. I wouldn't judge you if you wanted a splash of milk in there to cool it right off away. So.
Okay, so should we go to the classic?
I think we go to the classic, right?
Okay.
And, what more really needs to be said about this machine? This is just sort of the kind of quintessential entry-level espresso machine in so many ways, anything that you could do with this machine, you would also really be able to do on a prosumer.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we've got a single boiler in here, but you know, if you're looking for equipment to buy for the for your dorm or for home away from home, let's say, I know you mentioned maybe a cabin, like or a trailer down by if you go out camping or to the lake or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This machine can get you some rock solid 200-degree extractions, and even if you're buying higher quality coffee, you're going to get a good representation of that coffee with this machine. And now, even with the brass boiler, still heats up in under 2 minutes, right?
A little bit longer. Yeah, it's almost ready to go in about 2.
Almost ready. I mean, you may want to do a flush to heat everything up, and then switching to steam really does not take a lot longer as well. No. You can dispense hot water if you're unfamiliar with the Gaggia Classic. You've never seen it before. Basically, press both buttons, open that steam valve, and you're dispensing hot water. Mm-hmm. Basically, you've shut the group solenoid, so you're just running water out of the steam wand. So yeah, Mark.
Should I go pull
go ahead.
Okay.
Pull us through the whole process that you do for your 200
So
degrees.
I am going to take. Did you grab my mini scale?
I did.
Oh,
I
you
stole
did. Oh,
it.
it's
It was
right in front of you.
That's right.
So we're going to go a little more, technical, as we were. I mean, you were weighing a little bit of stuff over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Encore ESP here, and we're going to grind. We're going to shoot for 16 grams in here.
Yeah.
So I am going to just weigh the little dosing cup here. I do love this. It does have that removable thing if you're using the smaller portafilters, like you said. But we're full commercial size in the Classic here.
That's right. It does have a grinds bin as well, in addition to the dosing cup. So for those other brew methods, if you need more coffee, obviously that's there as an option as well.
So I did tear the scale out. I'm gonna kind of eyeball this and see how close I can get.
Good dispensing though, straight into the cup. You may want to do a little WDT on that. That is looking just a little clumpy, but that's to be expected generally when you've got
I'm 16.26.
Smaller grinder that you're working with there.
So not a bad eyeball. I'm good with anything within 0.3 of a gram.
Yeah.
That's kind of my standard. So we do have the WDT over there. Oh, we don't have a phone, but that's okay.
Well, I could get you one, or we could just do some gentle whisking.
Let's do some gentle whisking. How about that? Yeah.
I'm counting on you, Mark.
Okay.
It's nice that it's clear too, though, because you can actually see how the coffee has settled inside the portafilter before you pick it up.
All right, so I'm going to take that WDT. I think we got a shot of that.
Yeah, and then this is just the basic. That's the Gaggia tamping mat. We've got the Revolution. It's I think the 58.3 tamp that they have there.
Okay.
Looking pretty good. And then
I do like this little stand for the WDT.
Those are the new. That's getting a little outside of the entry-level territory, maybe into the more premium territory. But that's our Wiedemann WDT tool and our WDT stand. So, I actually never thought about it until just now. But if you really wanted to go crazy, you could mix and match different woods together, or you could just do one that matches. So.
So I had that Pyrex over there. So here's that technique. If you had just got the E24. Here's how do you get that perfect 200. I did this, repeated it so many times.
Yeah.
So the idea, all you want to do is just flush it for 7 to 10 seconds, somewhere in that neighborhood. This one's been sitting for a little while. And then we're just going to wait. So once we do that 7 to 10, I'm just kind of guessing here, is we're just going to wait. So the light right here, the brew light, that's going to go out.
And then why did that turn off?
Because the boiler's going to heat.
That's right.
Because it's cooled down a little bit. So when that light comes on, right back on, that's when we would start pulling the extraction. That's when we're going to get the 200. So.
And what are we going to make with this? So you're just doing a single espresso?
I'm just going to do a single espresso here.
All right, and
it's a little bit more than a single. The light just came on, so we're going to tear the scale here.
Yep.
We'll see how our dial-in held up there. I'm going to start the timer.
Our Solis just took a little nap. Energy save mode. That's looking really good, actually.
That is looking pretty good.
Auto time, auto tare worked really well too. We do a flow rate calculation too. It's looking like maybe around 0.3 grams per second on that. 17 seconds.
So we're looking for about 32 grams out. So we're going to stop this around 30. We're at 23 seconds.
Yeah. So always stop just a little bit before. You've always got.
So I was at about 27 seconds on that for 31.5 grams. That's like perfect. That's how I really like the Crema Wave.
That's right. Yeah, Crema Wave, very easy to work with. It's what
I am
going
going to taste
with
this
in
one.
all of these machines. Are you doing the stir? I feel like.
I always stir, but I don't know if you guys can really see that.
Yeah.
Here, let's do this. Hit me, Ron. There you go. Yeah, that's a nice head of crema. Now, crema isn't everything.
No, it is not.
It is not everything. But depending on what coffee you're using, you should expect a lot of crema.
Yeah.
And this is one that you should, hence the name.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And it's a nice blend of Colombian, Indian, Brazilian coffees. Very, very good, very balanced. And again, works well in any of the machines that you see up here. It's just really delicious. I'm a big fan.
And that's fresh. I think
Fresh Wave?
Fresh Wave. I think this was roasted about 10, 12 days ago, which is almost a hint on the too fresh side.
Yeah.
I usually like 2 weeks.
Just to give it some time to develop and off gas. Yeah, exactly. So that you're not drinking it so fresh off roast.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that a lot. Getting the honey almond like I should. All right.
I mean, Mark, we're doing pretty good on time here. Maybe we show off something a little different. I can't help but show off just a bit.
Sure.
I'm going to grab this shaker that we have up here.
You're a show-off, huh?
I am a bit of a show-off. I won't pretend that I'm not. But yeah, basically, a lot of times,
Before we go too far, I just want to get one more thing in about this machine. So you saw, I showed you how to do the perfect 200 on that. So if you wanted to modify that a little bit, say you're doing a lighter roast, what you do is you come over and you hit the steam switch for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 seconds, and that's going to increase your temperature a little bit. If you're going to do a really dark roast, you want to go the other way and just maybe do a little, let the light come back on after you do that flush, then maybe give it like a 3, 4 second flush, and that's going to bring your temperature down a few degrees. It's going to be more appropriate for like a really dark roast. One other tip on this machine. So when you want to go steam milk, it does have the commercial style wand, so you definitely can do latte art with this one. But when you turn that on, a lot of people are going to sit here and wait for that light to come on and tell them it's ready to go. You don't have to do that. You don't have to wait for the light. Because when that light is off, it's adding heat to the boiler. So it's usually about 20 or 30 seconds, and we'll check it here in a second. Where's our jug? So first, we're going to give it the little flush. I'm probably going to make a little bit of a mess. Just going to purge it. And I don't know, it's maybe been going 20, 30 now. So let's just see. Hopefully I don't make a mess. But I mean, there's the kind of steam that you can expect off of that, which is plenty. And you see the light staying off, so it's going to continue to create steam.
Right.
And I have tested this. This thing if you turn the steam on, I'll just do it right now. Why not? It will just continue to steam forever and ever and ever. It does. It's pretty amazing. I had this thing run for 5 minutes. It's also a nice dry steam. That's another thing we test all the time, is how much water is added to
the percentage of water by weight added to that milk.
And then, of course, the other thing that you have to do after you steam
is purge, obviously.
Is do the little purge. So I'm going to turn them both off, but we're going to just refill the boiler, cool it down.
Yeah.
By flipping both switches until we get a pure stream of water out of there.
Exactly.
And there we go. So we've refilled, cooled down the boiler. We'll be ready to make another shot of espresso. Okay, show off.
Well, I was going to say, though, too, you did some testing on that, and basically single boilers, you should pretty much always steam second.
Yes, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
We'll turn this back on. I'll pull a shot, and basically, unless you want to pull a shot for me, so we're going to make a specialty drink, and then I say we probably wrap, but the idea here really is just to kind of show you guys there's a lot you can do with these machines at home. There's a lot that you can create that you don't necessarily need a lot of sophisticated skill or equipment for, right? So basically, I've got my cocktail shaker here, my trusty shaker, and basically I'm just gonna try to
That's a sick ice container.
Yeah, this is actually the E&B Lab hand-blown glass pour-over.
Is it wrong if I say that's something that you would have seen in college in the 70s, maybe a lot? It looks similar, reminiscent to something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe only only bring this out in front of select people, so it won't get confiscated. But yeah, let's make ourselves just an iced mocha here. So, Mark, here's what I'd like for you to do.
How can I help you here?
Let's go ahead and basically just pull a shot for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll just put that shot over some ice first of all. And actually, where's my beautiful... Oh, yeah, I just need a little bit more here.
A little bit more...
Yeah, ice.
Oh, ice? Okay.
Yeah, because we're going to do a few things. Just going to move this off to the side. Dump some of this water out of here.
All right, I'm going to grind while you're doing that. I'm going to weigh this again, see if I can nail it again.
There's that for you.
And the Encore ESP, it does, I'm using like kind of constant on switch, but it does have a pulse switch up front if you want to.
And can I have, I'll take the Holland or the Dutch dark chocolate.
The Dutch dark chocolate.
Yeah, so we'll do that.
Let's see how I did on eyeballing that. 16 I did even better, 16.18 grams eyeballing it.
I'm going to do around 1 ounce of this. Again, these are coming in real handy.
Little flip transfer.
Yep. And then if I could, I'll just take the milk too.
Hey, I'm in the middle of fluffing grinds here, buddy. Get you.
I won't interrupt the fluffing. I'll go around. And obviously, you can fill these to taste in terms of your ratios here.
Let's see. I'm going to get my 200 again. So again, that's just let that go for 7 to 10 seconds. Let the light go out.
But I am doing 5 to 1 just in terms of my milk to Dutch chocolate here. And basically, I'm just going to take this sauce and this ice and this milk, and I'm going to...
We're like dual commentating. I love it. Am I going to I can use this? Yes. Okay, my light's back on. Get my scale under there.
Now, one thing I realized is we don't have a fine mesh strainer, which is what I would normally use to get all of the ice chips out. And really just give this some business. We want to get that chocolate sauce as incorporated as we can. Feel how cold that is.
Oh, that is real cold.
Very cold. It chills it really well. We'll just take that lid off. Smells nice.
I'm going to nail it again.
You are the king. All right, let's see. That looks beautiful. I'm very excited about that.
25 and 32.
So,
There you go, sir.
take this guy, pour it over our ice. Just give it a quick stir, or a shake in this case. Chill that espresso down. And now we're just going to pour over the top.
Oh, baby.
And I know you and I have done some experimenting too, just with a French press, which you can use to basically make a really tight foam if you want.
Yeah.
That really stays separated from the coffee as well. But I'll let you give that a try, Mark.
So what do you think they're charging for something like this?
Yeah, no,
On
that's,
campus,
that's
right?
a great question. I am honestly not sure.
I'm guessing this one we're going close somewhere in the $7 neighborhood.
Yeah, you're definitely with flavor, with ice, you're probably up north of $7.
Yeah.
Well, what's your combined commentary?
Plus a tip from mom and dad.
Oh, that's
Or
right. a tip
maybe
from
the whole
mom-
thing from
yeah,
mom and dad.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Pretty good?
Yeah, hey. You know, and I'm not a big sweet kind of
Yeah.
milk drinker, but this is really nice and refreshing. Yeah,
Well, especially
be
this time
converted.
of year.
Okay,
right?
one more time.
You know,
Yeah.
because obviously those ice drinks are very popular. Mm-hmm. Really,
Oh,
just
yeah.
shake milk with ice.
I mean, if you don't mind, you
Oh, no.
should share your own creation here.
Ooh, you're right. And you know, it's not too sweet,
No, it's not.
but that Dutch chocolate.
And how much did you put in? I didn't see.
I only did 1 ounce of
1
the
ounce?
chocolate. I did
Okay.
1 ounce of chocolate. I did 5 ounces of milk, and then we did, 32 ounce, but around, depending on your pull, maybe 1.5, 2 ounces of espresso. you're diluting everything when you're shaking because obviously you're melting the ice,
Right.
and then that's going to add water to everything. So that will help with the chocolate, which is obviously going to be pretty dense, pretty thick. Like if you ever try to shake like honey, for instance, it's not going to work. So you need to make like a honey syrup.
Yeah.
The espresso, just cool it off, flash chill, and you're good to go. I mean, you could use cold brew, but honestly, like that's a whole different device, and you can make something like this just with a little shaker. You could pick something like this up for probably like 15, 20 bucks at most. So
garage sale that thing?
Yeah, you could. Yes, garage sale. That's right.
All right. I mean, let's just go. Did we? Let's see. Hey, Mark, what are your hand grinder recommendations for light to medium roast coffee?
I'd probably go with like the
What would
Etzinger
you?
Etsai, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, or you've got one right over there.
Let me grab it.
The Varia Evo, the hand grinder, is also really, really a good one.
Yeah.
To the Etsai, these I have some good experience with too. Really nice cone on this. Actually, I need to separate that out and then I can show you. So I don't know if you can see it, Ron, but basically, maybe this one. I see the. Right. So on the burr, you actually have these little steps. So those are all essentially pre-crushing little teeth that help pull the pieces of the beans in to grind more easily, right? So you can see, obviously, unlike a traditional cone burr, which would be a single just sort of edge, this really helps because, obviously, grinding by hand takes a bit of effort.
Yeah.
And this design is essentially just to try and make that a little easier on you. You've got a good range of grind as well that can get very fine, even into the espresso range. I do know how to put this back on. I'm just on camera right now, so of course. It's like.
Now I'll be honest. I have not used this one. I have used the Varia grinder. I use the hybrid one. It's got the motor on top. There you go.
But just like this, something that's really cool too. Take this off. On the bottom, there's 3 pegs. Those lock right into the base. So if it's ever trickier to adjust as precisely as you want in the finest end of the range, this just gives you a little bit more torque so that you can turn it more easily. Lock that back on. Doubles as your catch bin. Coffee loads from the top. And then, I mean, I'm going to make it look easy because there's no beans in it, but collapse that when you're all done.
Oh, let's see. What else we got here? Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, a vase. That's exactly what I was going for. Good one. Oh, you know what we got to do? What's the answer to the trivia question?
That's right. Oh, my gosh, yes. What is the answer to the trivia question? So if you haven't voted, pop your comments in. Let's get them in.
Oh, whoa. Hey, Ron, can you put up the full results? Full results there? I'm kind of curious. Because what I see... Oh. Hey, so what do you think, Nick?
All right, so none of you thought that the average price was $2.46.
Very good.
You are all
good for
correct.
You. Good for you.
At 17%, we have $3.46. Mark, is that?
I want to know where you're shopping,
Yeah.
which cafes you're hitting.
Maybe you're
for
making
that.
it home.
Yeah.
Right.
You
have some expensive milk, some expensive beans.
Yeah.
Next up, obviously in second place, was $4.46.
Yep. Close
And then
second.
the highest and the correct answer?
$5.46.
$5.46.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wasn't surprised. It's funny because we had a few people who, like Zach was walking through earlier, and he took a guess, and he said $5.47.
yeah.
I mean, right? It just came right out with it, and I'm like, dude, you're the next contestant on The Price is Right, closest without going over. Very good. So yeah, $5.46. It's not surprising at all, and of course, you got a tip on top of that.
Tip on top of that. If you've driven, if it's part of a commute, you've got the gas prices as well.
And if you're going to put a flavor in it, then you're another $1 or $2 probably. Yeah. So, and we were looking at on any of these machines, we're putting in maybe 30 cents ish worth of beans, depending on how strong you're making it.
Not to mention too the initial invest, especially like on something like Espresso Evolution there.
Yeah.
$2.49's getting you right now that grinder in the machine
and
during deal dates. So
yeah, I'm gonna move that out of the way. So yeah,
pretty hard to beat, I'd say.
Which works great. Which works well with this machine. I mean, it's not going to be the quality of some of the more expensive super high end grinders you can expect to last for decades, really.
Sure.
Probably, but it's going to get you by just fine.
Get you by just fine. You know, everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a great place to start, honestly.
All right. Well, I guess I'm good. Unless there's any, I don't see any other new questions. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean, Mark, we've got some really cool stuff coming soon, wouldn't you say?
We do, because next week we're going to take a look at.
I think next week we may have some new machines to look at, but I mean some new reviews coming for the channel too.
Yeah. We're going to take a look at. Geez, I just finished. Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Jump. We're going to do some jumping.
PropTech jump, and then
we're going to go Van Halen.
Maybe some other stuff coming soon too. So
and David Lee Froth.
David Lee Froth.
David Lee. Yeah, I'm aging myself because I don't know. I'm guessing if I don't know. Do you know who David Lee Roth is?
I know he's from Rush, right?
No. Oh my God.
Man.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. There you go.
You were giving me the quote the other day. You were saying might as well jump. Go ahead and jump.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like
right.
everyone's heard the song.
All right. Yeah. That was like 1980 something.
Before
Maybe, yeah, like 1980, yeah. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We're here every Friday at 3 o'clock with a new live stream. And, of course, you can always watch them after the fact.
That's right.
But if you're want to try something at home, don't miss out on this deal. That ends soon, right?
Deal days, yeah, I think we've probably got about a week left, and then those deals are done.
Yeah.
So
anyways, guys, thanks. Nick, thank you.
Mark,
All
pleasure
right.
as always.
Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday at 3. Take care.
Bye-bye.